Hello. Okay, so recently there's been a lot that has happened this year. A lot of bad things that have happened during this time in the pandemic. There's been a lot of deaths, a lot of people who've lost jobs. It's a lot. So, and I'm pretty sure everyone has had their fair share of struggles during this time. But I'm here to let you know that even if you're still dealing with some of those struggles, you don't have to go for them alone. Now, I know that a lot of times it may seem like you're alone depending on whether, no offense, where your friends or family support you in certain things. And sometimes certain people, they have no one. They have no one that's there to be as a supportive rock that's there to support them and hold them accountable when they mess up, and as a result they end up going down like the wrong paths in life. So now a lot of people may not realize it, but God is always there with you. And I know a lot of times it's hard, especially for some people, to reach out to the Lord and ask for help. Partially maybe because, of course, some of you watching this probably don't believe in God. And I know that one of the reasons that I think a lot of people don't believe in God or the Lord is because they ask, well, there were a lot of bad things that have happened in history, such as World War II or World War I. Where was God when that happened? Why didn't he stop it? Well, to answer this, there's actually two reasons why. Wait, is there two? Yeah, there's two reasons why. First reason is, it's actually mainly one reason. And I'm going to go all the way back to the book of Genesis on this one with the story of Adam and Eve. I'm pretty sure most of you have probably heard the first book of story of the Bible. If not, quick summary. Adam and Eve were the first man and woman to be created, according to, my religion. To be created by the Lord. And so they lived in this beautiful garden called the Garden of Eden. And they could eat from any tree except the one in the middle of the garden. And that was instructed by God. Don't eat any fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden. But then an enemy of the Lord named Satan decided to sabotage all that. So he goes to Eve in the form of a serpent and basically tells her, you don't have to listen to God. He's only actually telling you not to eat from the tree, because if you eat from the tree, you'll get as much power as he has, which that's not true at all. Don't listen to anyone who says that, because it's not true. So, anyway, but of course she starts to question, the serpent's, what's the word I'm looking for? The serpent's accusation. There we go. Serpent's accusation. And she's thinking, no, maybe he's right. So she goes, eats the apple from the tree, and then she convinces Adam, her husband, to eat the apple as well. And as a result, they disobey God, which means they've unleashed sin onto the world. So now a main thing is that obviously because of this, God kicked them out of the garden. Well, I shouldn't say kicked. He banished them from the Garden of Eden to go live on their own, but he did watch over them the entire time and gave them clothes to wear, because back then they didn't wear clothes because sin didn't exist. So no one cared if you were naked. So, but anyway, so what's the purpose of this story? Well, many of you have probably might have figured it out, why the Lord can't really stop sin at the moment. He can't. And here's why. The reason why is because he gave us a wonderful gift. He gave it to Adam and Eve too. And that is free will. So, which means they have the ability to make their own choices. If God didn't give them free will, then he could have just chosen to not have them eat the apple. But it was their choice. And that's same with us. We all have free will. So we have a choice whether to do something or not to do it. So if you do something stupid that just brings your life down, like participating in bad activities, and you suffer the consequences, don't blame God. He didn't force you, and he didn't choose to have you participate in that activity. You chose. You said to yourself, I'm going to do this. So that's your choice, your problem. So, now, obviously, I know that some of you guys may not have even heard of God, and and sometimes that's, maybe because your parents never told you about him for a reason, or also maybe you grew up in a different religion, which I'm not hating on any other religions, I'm not saying they're true. I'm not saying that their religions are accurate, but it's your choice. You have a choice to believe in whatever you believe in. So, but I think a lot of people, but this is another thing that keeps people from believing in the Lord, because they have different gods from different religions. Now, I'm here to tell you that all the other gods that some of you might be worshiping in different religions, I'm just saying the truth, they're not there. They're not real. They are fake. And I'm sure some of you might get offended when I say that, but they are fake. I'm sorry. I'm just stating a fact and telling the truth. So, not saying that you're a bad person. I'm not saying that you're a bad person for believing in that religion, but what I am saying is that if you want to keep believing in it, go ahead. But when you're in time of need, whatever gods you're worshiping, they're not gonna help you. They're not gonna help you. Okay? Like a prime example of this was in the book of Exodus, which was basically the story of Moses and him delivering the Israelites from slavery in Egypt to the promised land. So during this time, every time Moses came to Pharaoh and said, God says let my people go, of course Pharaoh kept saying, no, I'm not going to do that. And so as a result, there were 10 plagues that went upon Egypt, known as, the 10 plagues. And so these plagues were horrible. Like you got locusts, disease, lightning and hail, fires, stuff like that. So not good. And during this time, the priests and everything and everyone from Egypt, they were praying to their gods. They were praying to Osiris or, Osiris or Seth or Sobek and all these other gods. And they were like, please stop this. Please help us. Please show you're more powerful than God. Guess what? They did nothing because they are fake. They're not real. So, as a result, give me a sec. Okay, sorry about that. But, these gods and everything, they didn't help them one bit. And when it comes to believing in God, obviously a lot of people ask, but still, even though we have free will, God could just, heal people and make angels come down from heaven and stop, like, war and stuff. Technically, he could, but he doesn't. Why? Well, part of that is teaching us as well. It may not seem good, but it is good. So I want you to visualize for me. Pretty sure when a lot of you were young kids, you caused all kinds of mischief. Drew on the walls, argued with your parents a few times. Every kid does, okay? And so as a result, your parents punish you. Your parents punish you into, with, consequences and stuff in order to make you learn. For example, oh, you broke a fancy dish in the room, made a mess. Consequences, now you have to clean up the mess and you have to buy a new dish. That's kind of what God does with us. He basically lets us do our stuff. He lets us do all this sin and everything. But he lets us do all this sin. He doesn't stop us. Doesn't mean he supports us. He doesn't stop us though, because then we suffer the consequences of our actions. And so then we learn from our mistakes. For example, when World War II happened, that was really bad, horrible, especially with the Holocaust. It was one of the worst things ever. So, but as a result, now we know what to expect. We know how to treat people. We know that we can't let stuff like this happen again. Because we've suffered the consequences from that. Because we've lost many innocent people to that. But we suffer the consequences. And before, because I don't want you guys to misunderstand me, but, Hitler suffered the consequences, the Nazis suffered their consequences. I'm not saying that the Jews should have suffered any consequences. They shouldn't. But as a result, they did because of the Nazis' actions. Because of their choice to be like, you know what? These Jews are dumb. We're just going to exterminate them. And enslave them and all this bad stuff. And I think with this too, these kind of thoughts prevents us from actually reaching out to God in a time of need. Because we think, you know what, I can get myself out of this by myself. I'm telling you, you can't. I've been in situations where I've, been stuck sometimes and I have no idea what to do. I don't know what to do. And so, I'm basically, I'm here to tell you that it may not seem like it, but God is there. He is there. And even though some people, of course, are probably not going to believe me, that's okay. It's your choice whether to believe me or believe in the Lord. It's your choice. I'm not forcing you. I'm not saying, oh, I'm talking about this, now you have to believe in what I believe in. No. I'm not that type of person, but I want to make people aware that the Lord is there, because sometimes a lot of people don't know. They don't reach out to God because they simply don't know about Him. They don't know who He is. So I encourage you, if you don't know about God, I encourage you to go pick up a Bible. Read it for a while. Trust me, it'll be worth it. And You know, and in a time of need and everything, especially during this pandemic, you know, whenever you need him, just reach out to God and say, you know, God, I'm in a really tough spot right now, you know, and I'm really sorry for all I've done, and I need your help now. And he will forgive you. He will help you. And it may, you know, it's not going to happen instantly. It's not going to happen like magic, like, psh, all your problems are gone. No, it's gonna take some time sometimes. Sometimes it's a day, sometimes it's a while. So don't be like, oh, it's been like 2 hours and this problem isn't fixed. God's not real. No. Okay, it takes time sometimes. So, you know, the next time you think about whether God is real or not, I encourage you to just, you know, give him a chance. Try to pray to him. Ask him, you know, ask him to be there for you. He will be there. I promise. But anyway, so hope you guys have a wonderful day, and may God bless you.